Hey guys, Subkansi here, bringing you guys my second Pirate Festival PvP guide video. Let me start by stating that this PvP game mode, on certain degree, is quite RNG dependent. There's no team that can be truly unstoppable. Even if you create the finest synergy for your team and win most of the fights, at some point, you will eventually encounter situations in which luck just doesn't favor you. That being said, if you still like to explore some strategic side of this PvP mode, I've simplified my team building strategies into 3 steps, and I will also provide you guys with 2 teams that I personally find most effective. We will then study the actual battle clips at the end of this video. So my team building strategy. Step number 1. Choose a color or a class. We know PvP rules alternate buffing between different classes and colors on a weekly basis. And as of the making of this video, we simply don't have enough PvP EXP books to level up all units accordingly. So my first recommendation is to choose a color or a class, based on which you then start to build your team. You will have to look at your bugs and see which color or class will facilitate you the most and provide you with much advantage in team building. Me personally, I spent all my PvP books on Powerhouse class from day 1, so I plan on sticking to it until someday I find my team is obsolete. Step number 2. Find your main firepower units. Now that you've chosen a class or a color, it's time to pick your main firepower units from that class or color you just selected. This is typically how a team formation looks like in a PvP fight. On the left, your teammates number 1 to 5 will be randomly scattered on the front line few seconds after the battle begins, while number 6 to 8 stay in the backup. By the way, it appears that the unit positioned on the number 6 spot gets to charge up its CT outside the field and becomes much prepared for battle once any of your frontline unit gets removed. Now, the goal is to eliminate our opponents within 100 seconds. But your opponent is trying to achieve the same thing, so how do we make sure we have better odds than they do? The natural instinct would of course be to maximize our team firepower and create more damage output than our opponents. In order to achieve that, we have 2 options. Option 1. Stack up attack level as high as possible. Each PvP unit has a passive Pirate Festival ability that you can find on the second row from the top on the unit's PvP stats screen. As long as this unit is on the field, its passive ability will be effective for the entire team. You can stack up its passive effects with that of the other teammates. The passive ability ranges from HP boost, attack boost, recovery boost, defense boost, to speed boost. Our goal is to stack up as many attack up levels as possible. Take my team for example. My Kaido's passive ability is maxed out at level 5, which provides level 6 attack level up for Powerhouse and Striker class units. The boost then stacks up with All-on Pirates, Osoba Mask, and V1 Snake Man's passive ability, and accumulates up to level 23 in total for all Powerhouse allies. Since Kaido and Osoba Mask's passive also increase additional attack levels for themselves, their respective numbers then go further beyond. Now, let's take a look at PvP team formation again. As much as you try to stack up attack levels and create maximum damage output for your team, your opponent could figure out a way to counter that strategy by simply putting a decoy unit on their team. A decoy unit that has high defense or HP, just like Legend Bullet, Capone, or Colosseum Pika, who also locks our attack target on itself and tanks all the damage created from our side. buying some critical time for its teammates. But not just regular teammates, the ones that fall into Firepower Units Option 2 category, high AoE damage units. By now, I think we are all familiar with them already. Units like V1 Snake Man or V1 Big Mom. These type of units usually have high CT, and their special skill won't be activated until the second half of the battle. As our attack target is locked on the decoy tank unit, even if we successfully eliminate that unit, the time we wasted already allows opponents' AoE damage units to charge up their CT and generate massive destruction on our team. That's why, as much as we want to stack up as many attack levels as possible, we also have to take opponent's strategy into consideration and make some trade-offs. Which brings us to step number 3. A step, in my opinion, is sometimes more powerful than anything. Step number 3. Speed your team up. Please take a look at my team setup again. You'll notice that I put 2 Vinsmoke Rangers on my team, Niji on the front line while Ichiji on the 6th spot. The idea behind it is to keep my team at a stable and relatively fast speed. As both Rangers' passive boosts Powerhouse Allies' speed up to level 7, and if you combine this speed with my 23 attack up level, the majority of the time I could eliminate opponents' AoE units or high attack level units from the field within the first 30 seconds, before their tank even has a chance to lock my attack target. And when that happens, my opponent's tank unit will then become their liability. As tank units usually provide low attack output, most of them at best only do HP cut, which in my opinion is very ineffective. Also, since Niji doesn't have high HP, I expect him to be removed rather soon, so I hide Ichiji on spot 6, charging up his CT so that when Niji is gone, Ichiji will pick up the slack and still maintain my team speed at level 7, giving my opponent little chance to breathe. Sometimes, Niji surprisingly survives longer than other frontline teammates, and I got both Ichiji and Niji on the field, which results in 14 speed level up for my entire team. Now, my team setup works well against the majority of my opponents, and I'm kind of a guy who always chooses tough matchup than an easy fight. But just like I said, no team is perfect or unstoppable. As explained earlier, my team is built with an intention to maximize team attack level and speed level. Knowing that the team setup like mine could exist, my opponent then could build teams that counter my strategy, teams that look similar to this one. This team sacrifices HP and some attack up levels in exchange for faster special CT and speed. The team is so fast to a point that constantly disrupts my team's attack rhythm, and as soon as I lose my first teammate, my team attack level drops and no longer has advantage over them. However, this team has its own disadvantages. For example, if my opponent's main speed up unit is eliminated by my team early on, my team will then be able to wipe them out fairly easy. By now, we can see how RNG factors come in play in PvP game mode. In Pirate Festival, we build teams with diverse functions, competing with each other in an environment where some factors we just cannot control. Despite the RNG factors, overall, I still think Pirate Festival is quite fun and interesting. Although I know the moment I click the battle button and start the fight, the result has already been calculated. I still enjoy watching how the full battle unfolds. Plus, Even if you are not comfortable with your team, you could simply refresh the matchup list until you find an easy opponent and get consecutive wins non-stop. I'm willing to bet someone can refresh their way up to the finals with some gems spent. I'll end this video with some actual battle clips that recap what I've just explained. I hope you guys enjoyed this one. If you did, please hit the like button and consider subscribing to my channel. I'll see you guys on the next one. Bye bye.
こんなバカは一瞬で片付く。王には王たる条理がある。
冗談じゃねえぞ。最後に勝つのは俺たちだ。
ぶち殺せ。世界は俺の帝国とな。この海に敵はねえ。
ゆっくり休むといいよ。
そんな速度じゃ蜂の巣になる。この力、慎みはせんか。王には王たる条理がある。
お前じゃ退屈しないにもなりゃしね
何すんだ。ユキナの分まで戦うよペドロ。
ぶち殺せ。そんな速度じゃ蜂の巣になるぞ。
お前じゃ退屈しないにもなりゃしね
ユキナの分まで戦うよペドロ。
この力、慎みはせんか。
最後に勝つのは俺たちだ。
まら全員刺激のもとに消してくれる。
そんな速度じゃ蜂の巣になるぞ。
ぶち殺せ。
最後に勝つのは俺たちだ。
こんなバカは一瞬で片付く。
巨人族の恨みは永遠だ。
お前との戦闘はもううんざりだ。
冗談じゃねえぞ。ブラックアンマー。
貴様ら全員刺激のもとに消してくれる。
そんな速度じゃ蜂の巣になるぞ。
貴様ら全員刺激のもとに消してくれる。巨人族の恨みは永遠だ。
最後に勝つのは俺たちだ。
お前との戦闘はもううんざりだ。王には王たる勝利がある。
最後に勝つのは俺たちだ。
世界は俺の帝国となる。この海に敵はねえ。貴様ら全員刺激のもとに消してくれる。巨人族の恨みは永遠だ。
王には王たる勝利がある。
まら全員刺激のもとに消してくれる。こんな退屈な世界壊れてもいい。